and welcome to the University of Washington. My name is Francois Baneyx. I'm a faculty member in chemical engineering. I'm also the Vice Provost for Innovation and the Director of CoMotion at the University of Washington. So it is my pleasure to tell you more about CoMotion, and we will have the opportunity to do some more introduction about what we do tomorrow during our one-on-one interactions. But let me go ahead and share my slides. So I'm assuming that everybody can see everything right now, and we will start moving on. So, why you have come to the University of Washington, you of course know that UW is a research powerhouse. You know that this is a tech mecca. You know that this is a great place to enjoy the outdoors. But what you might not know is that we're doing a very, very good job at tech transfer as well. In fact, UW has been recognized by a number of different entities as being the most innovative public university in the world, number 2 in US for licenses granted by a university, number 6 best global university for tech transfer activities, and number 7 for tech transfer. So we're very happy about this and about these numbers because they make a difference. And Commotion is really the office that partners with researchers on the UW campus to help transform your ideas, your discoveries, and your innovation into societal and economic impact. This is our mission statement right here. And I'm going to tell you a little bit more about how we do that, because transferring your ideas to the marketplace is really one of the best way that you can make an impact beyond publishing papers, because you reach out to many more people. So of course, many people think that only deep tech is eligible for that. And we certainly do have a lot of companies and startups that are being formed based upon research conducted, for example, in the biomedical field. So examples are Icosavax, which came out of the Institute for Protein Design and was sold to AstraZeneca for about $1.1 billion a couple of years ago, but also TwinStrand and OldPep, which are two other startups that came out of electrical and computer engineering and bioengineering that address more sequencing and neurodegeneration type of needs. But of course, we are much bigger than therapeutic and than diagnostics. And this is what I want you to think about, and to think about translation. For example, in the clean tech and decarbonization area, we have companies like Zap Energy, which is doing fusion energy. We have Blue Dot Photonics, which is doing photovoltaics, and Banyu Carbon, which is doing some carbon sequestration by using photoacids to actually remove CO2 from ocean waters and recover it. But we also have a lot of activities in other fields that you may not think would be giving birth to startups. For example, in the mental health field, we have All Patients Safe, which is a curriculum used by all medical professionals in the state of Washington to identify signs of suicide and help take action and prevent these patients from committing suicide. We have other companies based on artificial intelligence like Listen and Owl that also help some practitioners actually better evaluate the progression of a patient along a particular therapy, or maybe take better notes so that they can evaluate patients as they move along their therapeutic journey. So everything is possible. It could be curriculum, it could be deep tech, it could be something that is coming out of a federal grant, or it could be a curriculum or an app that you can think about. And we want to talk to you about all of that. So, at the core of what Commotion does is intellectual property. And intellectual property can be essentially looked into 4 different categories. If you have intellectual property, you may want to actually share it with the world through open distribution or through making it public, and that's totally okay. If you decide to, for example, patent or copyright, and incidentally, whenever you write something, you typically own the copyright unless you assign it, for example, in a publication. But if if you decide to go the patent route or the intellectual property protection route, you may want to license this intellectual property into an existing company, or you may want to start a spin-off, and we'll talk about this quite a bit in the rest of this presentation. Or you may want to think to have a direct-to-user license program. So for example, you have a technology that you can deploy and scale relatively easily. Let's say it's a piece of code, and we can help with that as well in terms of making it available for a number of different people. The way Commotion function is that we have a pipeline of integrated services that really help us, work with you in terms of moving your innovation from very early stages all the way down to incubation and companies startup type of stages. So, this is the write-up about what these different activities are. But what I'm going to do is actually show you the pipeline and discuss these activities in more detail and about how we interface with researchers at different stages of the innovation journey. So here is the pipeline. It's shaded. The first interaction that we do is really to start thinking, about how we can, get you to think about starting a company or think about translation. And the way that we do this is through different programs, such as the I-Core program. Some of you may be familiar with that. Some of you may have participated in NSF I-Core programs in your previous institution. And we also have an internal program that is called Idea to Plan. So you can see that the I-Core Hub program is offered 4 times per year and Idea to Plan 2 times per year. And we have an entrepreneurial faculty forum that I will describe in just a minute that is touching all these different points in the innovation journey. In the early stages, what we really want to do is to get you to think about what your innovation is all about, to think about what your customers might want if you're thinking about starting up a company, and thinking about what product you might have and how this product really fits with what the market wants. Here's a little bit more details about how we build this innovation pipeline, and more specifically, the spin-off pipeline. As far as the I-Core program is concerned, we are part of a hub that is led by Berkeley, and that also has multiple different universities such as UW, UCSF, Santa Cruz, Irvine, UCD, OSU, and University of Alaska Fairbanks. This program is open to all, including undergraduate and graduates, but Commotion mostly work with graduate researchers and faculty who are pushing forward federally funding type of innovation or curriculum that they have developed, for example, during their appointment as faculty members. The Entrepreneurial Faculty Forum is really a conduit for you to interface with us. We started this program last September, and the basic idea is to have 8 folks who have been there, that have walked the innovation journey, been entrepreneur themselves, to serve as conduit for you guys to interface with us in a way that makes sense and to learn more about what commercialization and startup creation entails. So these 8 folks, you can find their profiles on our website, but they represent different areas of expertise. We have, for example, Sam Brown, which is the first person on the left, who is a neurosurgeon, Louis Cizi, who is in the AI ML field and a member of the Allen School for computer science and engineering, Valerie Daggett, who is in bioengineering. We have Daniel Chu, who is in chemistry, Nora Dissis, who is in medicine, Neil King in the Institute for Protein Design. And then we have, people like Julian Sachs from oceanography and Ankur Teredasai from UW Tacoma computer science and science and technology. So you should feel free to talk to these folks and actually interface with them and understand what they have done and how they have interfaced with CoMotion. We also have on our website available for you uh, two different handbooks, one of them that deal with startup formation, what it takes, what it entails, and what you could expect. And the second one, which is a little bit more detailed, that deals with licensing and how we do licensing of intellectual property into startups. So these resources are really designed to help you, understand the startup formation process and to really demystify it for your postdocs and your graduate students. Once you decide to actually perhaps start a venture or explore the possibility of creating a company, we have a number of different programs that help you do so. And these programs focus on innovation development, on pitch practice, on prototyping and minimum viable product development, and on the acquisition of non-dilutive funding. So I will give you a few examples, and again, you can find a lot of details about this program on our website. But probably the most important program and our signature program is the Innovation Gap Fund. The Innovation Gap Fund is conducted twice a year. We grant about $1 million or so in monies with check that can range between $5,000 to encourage people to do a little bit more discovery and come back and see us again, to up to $75,000 per year if you have an innovation that has legs, that has market traction, and that we want to help move forward. When you go through this program, which is a commitment, by the way, you really will learn how to pitch. You will really interface with mentors, and we will learn entrepreneurial skills that you will be able to use all throughout your life. This is a program that really makes an impact. Out of this program, we have created 110 spin-offs since 2005, and these spin-offs have gone on to raise $6.34 billion. There's been also license into existing companies and direct-to-user licenses that have came out of this program. In some cases, we pair the Innovation Gap Fund Awards with funding for a postdoctoral entrepreneur. So that would be maybe a senior graduate student in your lab that wants to stay as a postdoc to really push this innovation forward and maybe start a company. Or it might be somebody that is passionate about this technology and wants to move it forward by working in your lab. We teach these folks a curriculum and we prepare them for launching a startup. And this is on a rolling recruitment basis, depending on the type of innovation that you have, and the judgment of our innovation managers that basically decide where this funding might be best invested. So we made 65 awards in terms of postdoctoral entrepreneurs since 2010. We currently have a program which is supported by the Washington Research Foundation to help Washington State University to also prepare some of their postdoctoral entrepreneur to be successful at launching companies. So we have two postdocs at WSU that are joining our curriculum. And you can see that this program also makes an impact with nearly 60% of the project license and about 30 spin-offs that have been created over the years that have raised about $900 million. One of the things that we want to do is to really help these pre-companies, these project teams, so this is before they really launch out of your lab, to really think about what they are going to do and how their particular products and innovation are going to fit with what the market desires. So we have a mentor in residence. This is George Gozieski, who helps about 10 to 12 teams to really, think about their business plan, to really think about pitching, to really think about funding strategy. And George is really helping these companies customize, their plans in a way that will be the most effective for the particular vertical that they are in. Now, George is not the only mentor that we have, quite clearly. And one of the things that we do is to deploy different mentors at different stages of the innovation journey. We have about 120 different mentors that are in all industry vertical. Most of them have been entrepreneurs. Most of them have been, doing this type of things. They know the problem that a startup will face. They know how difficult it is to actually move forward with funding and with product development and with customer acquisition. And what we do is that we pair them with these different teams that are coming out of your lab to make them successful at different stages of the journey once again. So it could be early on when people are thinking about putting a team together, or it could be later when they think about, let's say, regulatory issues, or it could be, at a different stage again when you think about execution and building, a customer base and scaling this customer base. So these mentors are all volunteers, and they are wonderful people that we screen for their utmost effectiveness. Finally, once you have gone through this preparation exercise, we have a couple of different programs that really help you launch and that license the intellectual property that you have created into the company that you will form. One of the tool that we develop is called Husky Fast Start. This is a set of term sheets and license templates that is specifically geared towards University of Washington spin-offs. The basic idea is that we want to make sure that everybody shares in a fair, transparent, and simple way. That means that the terms are pre-negotiated and they benchmark because we use a database which is provided by one of our partners called Osage University Partners to make sure that, for example, our terms for royalties and for milestones are well aligned with those of different universities. So Fast Start stands for fair, align, standardized, and transparent. And you can actually go to our website and you will find out the term sheets and the license template, under Husky Fast Start. What we also do is help you plan to launch. When you're about to form maybe a limited liability corporation or incorporate through a corp type of process, we will prepare you to be successful in doing so. This is a program that is geared towards gap fund awardees. So you've already worked with us, you know what it entails, you have grown and you understand where you are going. You perhaps have a minimum viable product. You have certainly a good product to market fit or something that can be moved forward. So what we will do is that we will do 2 one-day in-person sessions, and there will be 5 virtual workshops that will address some important points of starting a company, and you can see what they are. For example, de-risking your ideas, building the right teams to take this innovation forward, raising money, whether dilutive or non-dilutive, what are the possible business models out there, and what legal steps can you take or do you need to take to incorporate your company? And of course, the dreaded cap tables, type of concerns that we help you to navigate. Finally, once you get to this point, you become your own company. And what we can do, if you choose to do so, is to incubate you at CoMotion Labs. So CoMotion Labs is basically hosting different companies and offers wraparound services in 4 different verticals: life sciences, hardware, tech, and climate. The life sciences and hardware incubators are located in Fluke Hall, which is basically on the eastern edge of the campus. We also have a tech incubator, which is located in Condon Hall on the west side of the campus by Northwest Campus Parkway. That incubates everything related to AI, ML, crypto, fintech, and so on and so forth, everything that has to do with software, AI, and ML. And we also have a climate tech incubator that has been established in partnership with the City of Seattle and a couple of different partners, including 90 and Virtue Lab, which is located downtown on 4th and University. We have about 100 members. This is a membership type of process. And we provide wraparound services for all of these different members. And that means, we will have events, we will have get together, you can have access to people, connection, we can have VC office hours and so on and so forth, and access to vendors and cost centers for your company. And you can see some of the stats that are associated with the success of the labs, with about 250 startup incubated since 2012. Now, we cannot do that alone, and we partner with a number of different outfits to do that. We have a very close relationship with the Foster School of Business Burke Center for Entrepreneurship, which is focused on mostly undergraduates, but to some extent also graduate entrepreneurship. So they are much more agnostic. What the goal of Foster is really to help people consider entrepreneurship and become entrepreneurs. What we do, as I mentioned previously, is more related to tech-related type of activities, but also what other things are possible from federal funding and from curriculum development. Creative Destruction Lab is an accelerator that is located also in the Foster School of Business, and it is accelerating in two different verticals. One of them is computational health, and the second one is advanced manufacturing. Plug and Play is one of our partners that basically source problems from industry and help accelerate small teams to solve these problems in that space. Curinos is a partner that finances fintech type of startups, and they are also present in Startup Hall. And as I mentioned, the Seattle Climate Innovation Hub is one of our big partner downtown for our climate type of endeavors. The Washington Research Foundation and PAC Ventures are affiliated funders that are taking looks at some of the company that come out of our curriculum, and in some cases decide to further invest into them for maybe a part of equity into these companies. These are the numbers over the 5 past years. This is relatively fresh data. You can see that on the left-hand side, we filed about 850 patents over a period of 5 years, and we have about 85 US patents that are being issued per year. We also have some PCTs that are being filed to allow filing, in different countries. We do a lot of licensing, about 1,800 licenses over a period of 5 years. So that works out to about 300 to 400 licenses per year, which means that we are pretty busy at making sure that the innovation that come out of the University of Washington are making an impact in the community and worldwide. And we are doing a fair amount of support. We're investing about $1.3 million per year into these pre-companies, into these startups that are being created by our researchers and faculty members. The economic impact is highlighted on the right. We have currently about 110 spin-offs, and I'm happy to say that as of 2 days ago, we crossed 300 startups that have been launched by CoMotion and its predecessors. These startups support really good jobs in the state of Washington, over 1,500 good jobs, and these are startups with foundational UW IP. You can see that, these companies have been very successful in raising follow-on funding. Over the past 5 years, about $2.3 billion have been raised by this startup under the form of anything from pre-seed rounds all the way to series A, B, C, D. So these are different financing rounds, all the way to IPOs and mergers and acquisition. And over a period of 30 years, we had nearly $10 billion that have been raised by these 300 or so startups. On the right-hand side, you see the distribution of the different sectors. We are a strong universities in the life science space, so we have a lot of activities in therapeutics and devices and diagnostics. But you can see that a lot of other sectors are rising. Devices are important. Software is becoming increasingly important. Hardware, materials, and clean tech also are becoming more and more prominent. And we really are interested in sourcing more into the clean tech and the climate tech type of spaces, but also in what we refer to as underserved units. People who are thinking differently, people who might be in the humanities, people who might be in other sectors that traditionally have not taken advantage of our services. So if you have new innovations and new ideas, please reach out to us. I'm going to tell you two success stories to illustrate how things works at Commotion. This is Ingrid Swatson-Pulse, and she was at the Institute for Protein Design. She founded one of the first companies that was spun out of the Institute for Protein Design, which is called PVP Biologics. Uh, and Ingrid was able to take advantage of a number of different Commotion programs, including our postdoctoral entrepreneur program. She was able to get not one, but two Gap Fund Awards. The STEP Award, which is a smaller award, she participated into iCore and she incubated at Commotion Labs. And you can see that her company was acquired in 2020 by Takeda Pharmaceuticals for $330 million in payments and milestones. And the second story we like to showcase our women entrepreneur is by Valerie Daggett, who is a professor of bioengineering in the College of Engineering and the School of Medicine. Valerie Daggett is a computational chemist, biochemist essentially, and she founded relatively recently OldPep based on research that she conducted for nearly 20 years looking at the progression of neurodegenerative disease. And what she found is that she could identify some alternating peptides that had conformation that could stop the formation of fibrils in Alzheimer's patient and in the case of other neurodegenerative disease. So Valerie did idea to plan. She was able to get a postdoctoral entrepreneur award, got a Gap Fund award, incubated also at CoMotion, and you can see that she has now raised nearly about $75 million for her company, and we're helping that she's going to make a difference both in the diagnosis of early Alzheimer's disease, but also in the treatment of neurodegeneration. So these are the Commotion startup. We have 302 effective September 10, 2025, and we would be happy to add more to that list and hoping that some of you will be launching them. There is a lot of information on our website. Please visit these links. It's pretty deep. We have a lot of training videos. We have a lot of material, and I would encourage you to get some more information out of the website. So I will stop sharing at this point.